Good morning, YouTube. This is the Atheist Chef, and if my face looks like I want to kill people, it's because it's, really, really early in the morning, and my face doesn't not look like that, and I don't get to be my regular, chipper, happy self for like another hour. So, but I have been thinking so much the past, night or so, past 2 nights. Um, and it kind of started just a little nagging sensation went in my head, about a few weeks ago, when True Empiricism did a video saying that, atheists don't call each other out on their bullshit, and of course, as Redline pointed out in reply, that neither do Christians. However, True Empiricism does have a point. We don't really do as much to call out atheists on their bullshit. Particularly when it comes to, let's say, like with the newer atheist. I mean, I'm recently deconverted atheist about like 10, 11 months ago, I think now. Maybe a year. Oh my God, I need to look into that. I need to have a year anniversary special. Anyways, so, and so when, especially when you're a new atheist, for anybody that's been a new atheist, you remember the traditional arguments they use. Well, the Bible says you can't eat shellfish in the Old Testament, stupid stuff like that. And you see these new atheists or the ones that are just trolls or ones that just want to shell out in the comments these basic real arguments. And then they use them, and it's sure, it's just a bit true. However, if that same atheist were to go to somebody, say, Lasoya or Nate Cunningham or Jason Trivium, they're going to be like, yeah, what's your point? Yeah, we'll see things, because they'll focus on the message that Paul's message is the real point. And they may not, and they won't agree that, the Earth is 6,000 years old. Well, Nate does, but, they're not full-on fundamentalists, most of them. And so when they deal with somebody that's not a fundamentalist, they're going to get their ass handed to them. And that just stems from I would call it just a lack of consensus on what is the best argument to say and what are the bad arguments that atheists tend to use. And the thing is and why that is you have people like, say, The Amazing Atheists, Cult of Dusty, Jacqueline Glenn, their markets is basically anybody that's the new atheist. The new atheist, I could be wrong about that, but that's what really gets drawn in, and those are the kind of people you end up catching in. When you're first exploring what is atheism, you go on YouTube and you're going to find those names. And then you find that most of that stuff is, they talk about is not that deep. Maybe Amazing Atheist more so than others because he goes beyond just atheism. He rants about other things too. But still, and the arguments that he will use are not exactly that deep either. But when it comes to things like getting in a Google Hangout or something with a Christian that's smarter than that, they just spout off what they think is going to work for Amazing Atheists, and then they get shut down because that Christian's a bit smarter than him. So I want to start a group. So far, my name for it is just the Atheist Consensus because it works because the Atheist Chef and TAC, and then TAC for the Atheist Consensus, and it works out. And I'm lazy. That's the name I have currently. But what the point is this? I want to meet up maybe once a week, have a Google Hangout, and deal with every, basic issue. Set a foundation of arguments. Even if it's stuff that's already been covered like a billion times, we still have people dishing out really bad arguments that either, say if they talk about Noah's flood, and if they talk about the ark, and there's certain arguments that creationists have, we want to, let's just say we want to be able to know on the spot, no, this argument is invalid because this. to be able to deliver any kind of basic subject, and have a consensus from the atheist community on how we should handle this. Now, this will be how I want this to work as well. Is it won't be just those 10 people, because 10 people is the max I'm going to fit in a hangout. But what we can do is we can have a sort of kind of voting system inside the comments. For example, let's just say the first thing that I'm going to actually do, the first meeting I want to have, is going to be talking about what things are atheists, what things do atheists want Christians to know about atheism and atheists in general. So if you don't think you want to join in the group or whatever, leave a comment below, like the top thing that you want atheists to know, and then anybody else that comes in and sees it, give it a like and to show that you agree, and then come up with another one. And so every comment that you guys have, we'll look at that, and we'll look at that during the show. But meanwhile, anybody that wants to be in on the actual Google Hangout, contact me, and just message me in the YouTube or whatever IMs, and then work for the next until the next video when I decide to do it, next meetup. What things would you say, and and we can talk about in our next Google Hangout what those things are. How can we best do that? How can we best show that's what we want to to let these Christians know, and stuff like that. And I want to cover a wide range of topics. Mostly I want to cover the Bible and atheism and stuff like that, because it is the Atheist Consensus after all. But I do want to cover all the good fun stuff, just to take a break from the Bible every once in a while. But the whole point is, we need to be able to gather together to figure out the best way to handle certain apologetics. And if we're, one person says it could be this thing, one person says it could be this. I mean, like right now we have Alex Botten and the primacy of existence for presuppositionalism, and using that primacy of existence as a foundation for knowledge, while you have people like Ozymandias saying, well, no, that's not going to work because you're still using reasoning to validate your reasoning, which is the whole point of presuppositionalism. Alex Botten is still going to argue for that firmly, because he feels justified in that. Then meanwhile, people such as Ozymandias, Karen S., and others are going to say, well, no, because you're playing right into the presup's hand. So it's stuff like this. It's not really, I wouldn't really call it infighting, but I would say we need to work together so we can have a unified account for every major argument, because we're supposed to be the skeptical ones. We're supposed to be the ones that have thought these things out. But if we're caught in these same traps and saying things that don't work, and we're getting, it looks bad on us overall. So if you're interested, we can flesh this all out and figure out what days and times and the name and stuff. And actually also in the channels below, if y'all guys have a really cool name, like if the Atheist Consensus, and I thought about maybe just the Consensus, but then, or the Collective or something, but the Collective sounds like I'm in a cult. If you have a cool name for it, if it's something you want to try, give a title below and see what you think, and maybe you can vote on that too, what the name should be. Yes, so this would be, I want this to work. I think this would be pretty interesting to really, have atheists in a handle, instead of, you ever been in a room with a bunch of atheists and we're talking about things, it tends to be a little bit of a circle jerk. Just everybody's patting each other on the back, like, yeah, those stupid Christians, they think that this is a bad argument, this is a bad argument. Yet, maybe that one atheist may believe that one thing, but then they're going to turn around and use a bad argument. This can help get rid of that. This can help get all the atheists together and challenge each other to figure out the best argument, and helping get rid of bad arguments. Because this is the true reason why I'm doing this, and this is the true reason why I got onto to YouTube to begin with, is there's bad arguments on both sides. Between atheism and Christianity, there's just bad arguments, period. And I want to do my part. And I'm looking for others that want to do their part in helping get rid of those bad arguments from both sides. So, now it's 10 minutes in and I've been blabbering enough. If you're interested, leave a message inside, in an IM, or say it really loudly in the channel, in the comment section below. And I really want you, if you're really interested, be aware that I really want you to be able to chip in more than just one thing. I want you to be able to defend it and discuss it and rationalize it and, explain. I want some real thought into this for those that want to be a part of this. I appreciate you guys watching me talk for 10 minutes or so and really not get too far. So, yes, there I go again. I'm stuck. But if you're interested, let me know. Let's make this a success. Let's make this work out. I think this is something that we really need inside this community, to have atheists lined up together, to have a consensus between us all, to present a solid front. So I'm out. This is the PT. I'm not even going to bother editing that out. I'm just going to go because it's good so far. This is the Atheist Chef, signing off. Peace.